Hey everyone, and welcome to chapter 20 of the Miraculous fanfiction, A Glitch in the System. This is all written and narrated by Milady Samantha. Be sure to leave a like and a comment if you enjoyed. Goodbye. Cat chuckled. He found her so adorable.
Don't worry, milady, we can chat after.
And with his words, Ladybug smiled and darted back to the battle. She knew it was reckless and beyond stupid to have left the villain unattended, but she just had to see him, had to make sure that he would be okay. Ladybug reached the battlefield, and horror was revealed before her eyes. Breaker of Hope had gathered more zombie-stated villains. Ladybug frowned. Innocent civilians were being manipulated by magic. Ladybug blamed herself for leaving her unattended, but shook her head. She had to focus. She needed to focus big time. So Breaker of Hope now had around 6 mindless zombie allies, and once they spotted Ladybug, they all charged at her. "I am nothing," they all chanted in sync as they were running at her. Ladybug had to use force. As much as she despised the idea of harming people, she once again reminded herself that the magical ladybugs would fix everything afterwards. Ladybug took a deep breath, and then she instead dived at Breaker of Hope, who wasn't paying attention. The villainess crinkled her nose in annoyance as Ladybug smiled in victory. "Finally, I have you down, Breaker," Ladybug said. The villainess smirked. "Oh, yes, Ladybug, you have destroyed all my hope," she said as she fake sobbed underneath Ladybug's foot. Ladybug rolled her eyes as she began the search for the object needed to revert this villainess back to normal. A bombardment of zombies suddenly all flung themselves at Ladybug, causing her to go off balance. She tumbled to the ground in defeat. She groaned out in irritation as she tightened the grip on her yo-yo. "What will you do now, bug-a-loser?" the main villainess retorted. Ladybug had a thinking face on as she turned to look at the mindless people surrounding her. "Aha!" she remarked as she bounced up. Ladybug swung her yo-yo at the affected civilians, hoping it would cause them to move. And they did move, giving Ladybug a perfect opening for an attack on her opponent. Ladybug closely looked at the villainess before she called out, "Lucky charm!" A moment later, a small compacted mirror fell into Ladybug's hand. "A mirror?" Ladybug questioned. "What on earth am I going to do with this?" She rolled her eyes. Her lucky charm always gave her something so silly. Ladybug looked around and peered back at the villainess, and when she looked close enough, she noticed that one of her fists were clenched shut. Without hesitation, Ladybug zipped her yo-yo and gave it a nasty whiplash to Breaker of Hope's clenched wrist. "Ah!" she called out as her hand flew open. Ladybug darted herself at the fallen object. It was a small hair clip in the shape of a heart. Ladybug frowned before she threw it to the floor and smacked her foot down onto it to break it. The purple butterfly soared out. Ladybug retracted her yo-yo and caught the Akuma. Bye, pretty papillon," she smiled as she waved to the butterfly. Ladybug loosened her grip on the compact as she launched it into the air. Miraculous Ladybug! She cheered as the magical ladybugs swarmed around Paris. Now Ladybug wanted more than anything to return her attention to Cat Noir. She raced over to him and was pleased to see him back on his feet. Kitty! She yelped as she got to his side. Her bluebell orbs were full of contempt for him. Cat met her gaze and he smirked.
So, you were worried about me, eh?
He said. Ladybug's face flushed deep red as she turned away as she comprehended her next words. Cat Noir had gotten his flirty behaviour back, and instead of groaning at his joking manner, she gazed back up at him. His emerald eyes pierced her heart as she stared into them. It was that moment when she knew. She was so worried about him before, and now his gaze had her speechless. Ladybug had finally fallen in love with Cat Noir, not because he's Adrien Agreste, but because she can accept him as a whole. No, I mean, yes, Ladybug stammered. Cat had a confused look on his face, as right now, Ladybug was reminding him of his close friend. And Cat thought of Marinette, and remembered her feelings for him. Cat blushed.
Well, milady, that's good to know,
he said as he grinned like a Cheshire cat. Cat, there's something you should know. Ladybug began again, stammering at his eyes, fogged her every thought. He was consuming her mind entirely, and she didn't mind that at all. Cat looked at her with the questioned expression splashed to his face.
What's up, milady? Is everything okay?
He asked as his forest orbs glimmered with concern for his partner. Ladybug's blush deepened as she pondered her decision. Ladybug had decided to confess why she was acting so weird when she found out his identity. The truth is, she began. I've had a crush on, she continued as her nerves worsened. She was squeezing her hands together for comfort. Cat immediately noticed her nervous body language and smiled.
Hey, you can tell me anything. It's okay, even if the boy you like isn't me.
Cat said. That sentence stung his throat bitterly as he said it. But he knew that no matter what, he needed to be there for Ladybug. She was his partner after all, and one of his dearest friends, who he just so happened to be crazy about. However, another raven-haired girl was beginning to intrude upon his heart, and he wasn't entirely sure how he felt about that. Yes, Cat loved Ladybug, but he was beginning to realise just how important Marinette really was to him. She's always so kind to him. She helps him against his father, and she was undeniably beautiful. Ladybug noticed that her partner had zoned out, so she quickly spat out her next words. I've always had a huge crush on you, she shouted as her face heated up. Cat snapped out of his daydream and tried to understand what his lady had just said. No, he thought she couldn't have said she had a crush on him, surely?
What?
Cat Noir said in disbelief. Ladybug smiled shyly. I've always been in love with Adrian Agreste, and recently I've also realized the feelings I have for Cat Noir. I tried to bury them, but I can't deny it anymore, Ladybug shouted. Cat Noir had been left speechless. He was unsure of what to say, what to do, and what he should be thinking. His crush, his love, she finally liked him back? No, she loved him all along. But what about Marinette? She liked him too, and he now liked the both of them. He didn't want to let either of them down because it was undeniable how crazy he was for the two of them. Adrian always knew Marinette was special to him, but now he was accepting that it was something more, something he didn't understand, something he tried pushing aside for Ladybug. Ladybug was nervous because Cat hadn't spoken for a while. Cat? She stuttered.
Ladybug, I've been in love with you for the longest time.
He began. Ladybug smiled awkwardly as the blush returned to her cheeks.
But
he continued.
I'm having trouble with my feelings right now.
The Sunshine Boy expressed as his eyes fell misty. Ladybug frowned. What do you mean? She questioned as her eyes glossed at her forming tears.
It's that I recently just realized how much this girl means to me, and I'd always repressed any thoughts like this, and just continued to tell myself that she was just a friend. But now
He paused, trying to be cautious of his next wording.
I think I might love her,
he finished. Ladybug could no longer contain her tears. She'd waited too long, and now her prince had fallen for another girl. Before Cat got the chance to tell Ladybug who the girl was, the raven-haired heroine unlatched her yo-yo from around her petite waist and flung it at the nearest building and swung away. The whole way home, Ladybug cried. The tears just wouldn't stop flowing. She had left a very sad and confused Cat Noir alone. Thank you so much for listening to this chapter. Chapter 21 will be out shortly. Goodbye.